Boy, oh boy, have things gotten very interesting when it comes to the AFC South. What's up, AFC South fans? Hope you are having a fantastic evening. We are just a couple short days away from Thanksgiving, which means a lot of football, none of it involving the AFC South, which means all of you get to take a collective breath and relax, knowing that your Thanksgiving cannot be ruined because your football team lost on Thanksgiving. And that in itself is something to be thankful for. Let me bring in the panel. We got Rossi coming back. Boy, oh boy, man, it's good to see you, brother. How have you been?
I've been good, man. I've just been busy. Mike's been doing an awesome job here, but I am glad to be back with all of you, man. I was at the Titans game. I'm excited to talk about it.
Absolutely. Ruben, brother, how you doing tonight, man?
Man, I am feeling great. It feels like this division, it's about to open up. I'm looking at Indy this week, and I am ready to hunt. I am so ready to hunt.
Derek, are you already traveling for Thanksgiving? Is that what's going on? You don't seem to be in your normal place.
No, we are going to be here now, but my fiance had to have emergency surgery over this weekend.
Oh, no.
And I just took her to my parents' place today. I just took her out of the hospital today, and she's here so she can recover easier for her to recover at my parents' place because everything is on one level, so she didn't have to move around as much. So that's why I'm here versus being at my usual studio.
Well, prayers up the fact that you're here. Yeah, I thought, yeah. Well, listen, not everybody has that Dalton money.
I was able to take her home today and during the afternoon, so she's been able to rest, and then I'm able to be here with you guys.
All right. Well, we're glad that you are here. Hopefully everything's good with the wife. And Dalton, listen, man, not everybody has that Dalton money that can go on cruises every other week. How you doing tonight, brother?
Hey, right now, vibes are good. This time next week, the Jaguars could be first place in the AFC South. Did I hit with a little bit of help from Ruben's team? We could be up there. Owning that.
I have a feeling I know who Dalton's going to be picking and predictions by the end of this episode.
What do we say? Tighten up, Swarm? No, Swarm, H-Town till we drown. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Till we drown, baby.
Do you guys go like this, or is that Longhorns?
No. It's the H, baby.
We got it. Other way. Okay. I thought it was like this.
Rest in peace, Pimp C.
What about this? Is this cool? Is this a Texans thing? Do I see a bunch of people on
just as long as the horns aren't down, you know? Oh, wait, that's Texas.
All right, I absolutely love it. Well, speaking of the Texans, before we get to those previews of Week 13, fellas, I cannot believe that we are already through Week 12. Thanksgiving football right around the corner. This season is absolutely flying by. Love doing this show with you. I'm going to miss it when the season ends, but it looks like we might have a couple representatives potentially in the playoffs from the AFC South, and that means this show keeps it cooking during the playoffs. You got to love that. But we got to talk about that Week 12 and how it started. Thursday Night Football, Texans beating the Bills. Don't look now, but Davis Mills, the mafia of Davis Mills, my goodness sakes, is he your long-term starter? No, I'm just joking, but very, very good win, beating the Bills. It is a house of horrors. We talked about NRG Stadium being a house of horrors for Josh Allen. It continued to be just that. Defense was absolutely phenomenal. Once again, Ruben, talk to me about how your Texans continue to claw their way back into this playoff picture by beating the Bills on Thursday Night Football.
Yeah, boy, there's no other way to say it, but the Houston Texans, they shocked everyone. NRG, they took Josh Allen to the pits of hell. It was battle red day, and man, Josh Allen was running for his life. To sack him 8 times, to have him not looking like an MVP. I told y'all guys last week that we were going to have him in hell, and that's exactly what happened. This is the best defense in the NFL, and what's crazy, what's scary is that now they're getting to the quarterback. Danielle Hunter, the last 3 games, 7.5 sacks. Will Anderson Jr., the last 6 games, a sack in every single one. He has multiple sacks games in the last couple of weeks. You have Derek Stingley, who has 4 games with under 10 yards allowed to his opposing receiver Pat Surtain, who had Defensive Player of the Year last year, had 5 of them. You had your second-year safety, Kalen Bullock, become a star on prime time. 3 turnovers by himself, 2 INTs, a forced fumble. This defense is scary. They are getting better. This is a Super Bowl caliber defense. They showed you they can win you a football game. Davis Mills, shout out to him. He did exactly what he needed to do. It wasn't all perfect. Out of the 4 quarters, he played one good one, but this defense was so damn good. It's going to be scary going forward, and I know my other co-host Derek is scared as well, because these boys are hunting and now they are starting to find home. It's going to be real nasty, man. This Houston Texans defense is elite.
It is an elite defense. Is Petrie coming back? Because Petrie, listen, man, he's been out and they still keep it humming. And he's a very key cog to this team.
Yeah,
What's
so it
the
looks
outlook
like
on him?
him and CJ Stroud, they're still in concussion protocol, but it's all under the same understanding that both will be ready to go for Indianapolis. And yeah, you get one of the best safeties back in the NFL, which adds another You have somehow found another rookie in Jalen Reed, who's up for AFC Defensive Rookie Player of the Week for his play on Thursday Night Football. There is a stat that this defense right now is playing better than the Legion of Boom. One of the best defenses we've seen. And they are only going to get better as the season goes on. The vibes are high. You're on a 3-game winning streak. You protected Houston, and your franchise quarterback is coming back.
Man, it would be a shame if a defense this good didn't make it to the playoffs.
It would be a shame.
I'm almost starting to root for the Texans. I know that I faded them week in and week out and gave you a lot of crap, man. It's got to feel good, though, that your Texans really started this run by beating my 49ers after all the trash that I seem to talk week in and week out, man. I'm almost rooting for it at this point, Ruben.
Well, it wasn't easy because we started 0-3. And, it felt like my season was over by Halloween. And yet you've come on this run and now you are 1 game above 500. If you make the postseason, you will be the second team only to make the postseason after being 0-3. You know who was the other team to do that? The Houston Texans, all the way back in 2019. So I'm excited. The vibes are high, boys. The vibes are high.
All right, well, let's talk about the Colts, who the Texans face this week in Indy. Colts losing to the Chiefs in overtime, 23-20. Derek, a little disappointed. I think I speak for everybody that may not, other than AFC South fans who certainly were rooting for the Colts to lose this one. Actually, that's not true. I know Ruben was rooting for the Colts to win this one because of some tiebreaker stuff, but either way, the rest of us really wanted to stick a fork in the Chiefs, and unfortunately we were unable to do so because the Chiefs were able to come back, win this game in overtime, 23-20. Talk to me about what you saw from your Indianapolis Colts against the Kansas City Chiefs this week.
Yeah, unfortunately, when I was in the hospital, I was only able to catch the last drive of the 4th quarter with the Chiefs and overtime because that game was not in my region and I didn't have another way to watch it. But my brother was keeping me updated through all of it. And I was able to go back, look at a couple things. And, it sucks because, again, this was another game in which the Indianapolis Colts, they should have won this game. The Chiefs led for 1 second in this game. And it was the second in which that field goal in overtime ended up going through the uprights. Other than that, the Colts had control of this game for about 3.5 quarters. And then sure enough, you fumble it because, again, the offense was your kryptonite. The Colts defense, I know people are going to look at the numbers and they're going to be like, oh, Kansas City, they were doing whatever they wanted offensively. Really, they weren't. I mean, they were moving down the field quite a few times against the Colts, but the Colts defense never wavered. I mean, the Chiefs did not score a touchdown until the 4th quarter. And the 5 of the 6 drives that the Kansas City Chiefs scored on in that game, they were all field goals. So again, the Colts, while they might have given up yardage at times, they didn't give up touchdowns, and they did exactly what they needed to do. They forced 2 turnovers, and the Colts offense, amazingly enough, didn't give up a single turnover. So it was one of those things where you won a turnover battle, and your defense wasn't giving up touchdowns to Kansas City, so it should have been a situation where you won. But at the end of the game, the Colts offense was on the field for, I don't even remember the full number. I think it was just over 20 minutes in this game. So that Colts defense was on the field for a lot longer than the Colts offense was in this game. And your final 4 drives, you went 3 and out. So the Indianapolis Colts offense absolutely lost them this game. And Shane Steichen also did it too, because in your final 3 drives, where in the fourth quarter, in your final 3 drives in the fourth quarter, you went 3 and out each time. You know how many times they gave the ball to their best player in Jonathan Taylor?
12.
Once. And now that's it. And so it's like, again, I know that the Colts weren't running the football particularly well that day against Kansas City, but you had a lead. And Shane Steichen said, I'm smarter than everybody else, and I feel that confident that we're going to be able to pass our way through this, even with a lead, and we didn't blow the clock. The final drive, guys, just to put it into perspective, we were up by 3 with 5 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter, and we had the ball. Shane Steichen threw 3 passes. We knocked 13 seconds off the clock. So had Shane Steichen done what every football fan in America understood, which is you run the football for the first 2 plays, burn maybe a minute and a half off the clock, and then try to pass it on 3rd down, even if you don't get it, Kansas City only has 3 minutes left on the clock to get a field goal versus 4.5 minutes to get the ball down the field. So it's all about the semantics, and obviously Daniel Jones and this offense need to find a way to start being better at executing. But at the same time, Shane Steichen continues to get in the way of this offense, and it's screwing us right now.
Well, I want to talk a
Wow.
little bit bigger picture here, Derek. A little bit bigger picture. Let's go back to 3 weeks ago. The Colts lose to the Steelers 20-27. Daniel Jones looks terrible. Then you narrowly beat a very bad Falcons team at this point in overtime at home. Daniel Jones, little iffy.
It wasn't at home. It was Germany.
Well, Germany, yeah, technically a home game. You're right. It was in Germany. Either way, that was a much closer game than it probably should have been. Then you lose to the Chiefs. And now we look at this gauntlet. You've got the Texans, the Jags, the Seahawks, the 49ers, the Jags, and the Texans. How worried are you that we might be looking at an epic collapse down the stretch and possibly even missing the playoffs?
Well, I mean, you'd be dumb to not have that feeling in the back of your mind that the Indianapolis Colts could fumble this whole thing. You're absolutely right. I mean, we've seen that in years past, and even with the fact that the Colts are 8-3, you're right. The Jags are right on our tail. Houston's right on our tail. And I mean, I know for a fact we're not winning the number 1 seed in the conference at this point. I feel like it's the Patriots thing to lose at this point. I'm still supremely confident that we will make the playoffs, even in spite if somehow, some way, the Texans or the Jags do end up winning this division. I still feel confident that the Indianapolis Colts, if they can win just 3 of the last 6 games, that we're going to make the playoffs. But, I mean, to think of how disappointing it would be to have had such a monumental lead in this division and then to squander that by the end of this season, because again, the first 10 weeks of the season, your offense looked phenomenal and your defense was middle of the pack. Now your defense is looking like a potential top 10 defense, but now your offense just seems to not know what it's doing anymore. So Yeah, no doubt. I'm definitely a little concerned with these. And, I think these next 2 weeks are definitely going to define what happens here for the Indianapolis Colts. Because if they do lose these next 2 weeks, I don't think the Colts win this division, to be completely honest with you.
Bro, 2 years ago the Jags were 8-3 before the 1-5 collapse, and we missed out on the playoffs. It happened to us.
Does Daniel Jones have a leg?
Yeah, I mean,
Titans knocked y'all out. Remember that?
Steichen said that there were no limitations to what he was trying to do. I don't know how much that impacted his game. We're going to have to see about that going forward. I know it was a fibula, so obviously the movement, like just overall movement rolling out of the pocket might end up, having that get affected a little. But yeah, I mean, again, he said that there were no limitations offensively for Daniel Jones in this game. So ultimately, again, it was just bad play calling, bad game management, and also Daniel Jones not making the throws necessary to be moving the ball down the field.
Oh, I cannot wait until the final stretch of this season to see how it plays out, man. This could get really, really interesting. All right, Rossi, time to go to you and talk about your Titans losing to the Seahawks, but showing life 30-24. Also, Cam Ward showing life. The Seahawks defense is very, very legit. Very legit. This is a very, very good team in Seattle. And the fact that the Titans were able to keep it somewhat close on the scoreboard at the very least, that's something positive that came from this game. I get it. You lose. There are no moral victories. But the Titans are starting to show that, hey, couple pieces away. You got another good draft coming up. They might be able to be competitive sooner than what we possibly thought. So talk to me, Rossi, about what you saw from your Titans this week against the Seahawks.
Yeah, I was at the game. It was the first game I've been to in a long time where it just wasn't a complete boring freaking snooze fest and like terrible experience overall. Cam Ward played a great game. Xavier Restrepo came out there, caught a few balls.
My guy.
But Cam, yeah. I mean, and he looked great, man. He made some plays. You could tell him and the chemistry with Cam Ward was there. And I think he locked up a roster spot for at least the rest of the season. I mean, why not? You got a guy that's comfortable with him. He was Cam's number one guy in Miami, and you could see it on the field. But Cam played the best he has played all season. It was like that. I've been looking for this from Cam Ward all season, and I've been saying it on X and in our shows. Like, I just want to see 4 quarters of solid play without crazy mistakes and fumbles and all this type of stuff. And he gave us that. The last touchdown was within like 40 seconds to go. So, I mean, it was an onside kick or bust at that moment. But, they had opportunities in that game to really make it closer earlier on. The penalties, bad teams in the NFL, they commit a lot of penalties, and that's one of the Titans' biggest problem is penalties. I mean, it's just insane to watch. But the last 3 games, the Titans have lost by 1 score or less. They're getting closer, I feel like, to like upsetting a team. I really feel like this, coming into this game in Nashville this Saturday, it could be a pretty close matchup. I feel like, I don't see the Titans winning this game, but I do see it being a close and competitive matchup.
Oh no.
Okay, it's not me. Thank God.
Oh no. All right, he got
Where's
sniped.
Michael? We need Michael. Michael.
He got sniped. All right. Well, listen,
Stream sniped.
we'll let him. Yeah, we'll let him get situated and hopefully come back.
I think
but yeah, man.
4 minutes of internet time dedicated to Titans. That's all the world needs right now.
Yeah.
It's all that's
A
needed.
little too much for segment one for sure. Well, listen, he was kind of sneaking ahead anyways, so we'll let him talk or re-talk about that game against the Jags when he does come back. Speaking of the Jags, though, Dalton, they beat the Cardinals in overtime. Very, very fun game to watch. I definitely had this one on the quad box, 27-24 in overtime. It's not easy to win in this league. That is a fact. And so whenever you can get a win, even against a team that you're supposed to beat, we see strange things happen week in and week out in this league. Winning right now is the name of the game, and your Jags were able to do such. Talk to me about what you saw in this game against the Cardinals.
Yeah, a lot of people were really critical of Trevor Lawrence because he had 4 turnovers on the game, but I don't think people realize that Trevor Lawrence is 2-0 when having 4 turnovers. Okay, beat the Chargers.
It was by design. It sounds like
it's by design for them to continue to turn the ball over.
It was all in the script, man. You got to keep these games. You got to keep these games interesting. And the Jaguars aren't allowed to have good things. So even when they win, it has to be an emotional roller coaster. But yeah, he's the big story about this game. I mean, the first 2 turnovers, one came because a guy missed a block on his blind side, so that is what it is. The next one tipped at the line, intercepted, good play by the defensive lineman. But the last 2 throws, they were awful. And but that's a Trevor Lawrence experience. The last interception he threw, they scored a touchdown off of it, and then the Jaguars are all of a sudden down 4. But what does Trevor Lawrence constantly do after making these mistakes? He somehow answers and has these clutch throws. Like, had one insane throw on the right sideline to Parker Washington, had another one in the back of the end zone. It's really just wild, these things that he does. And is it sustainable? Probably not. But the way he just answers off this stuff and comes up in the clutch, I mean, it's big. But yeah, the Jaguars, I mean, anytime you're playing an away game, I mean, it's the NFL. The Jaguars were 2.5-point favorites going into this one. So technically cover the spread, but you go to the West Coast, away territory, you sneak away with a game in overtime. The Cardinals, they're a bad team, but they definitely have good players. I mean, the Jaguars were covering Trey McBride pretty tight on multiple plays, but the guy just makes plays, man. Michael Wilson is a beast too, and Jacoby Brissett can get it done when he needs to. But I like the way defensive coordinator Anthony Campanelli called the game, because the Jaguars don't do great at getting pressure with 4 guys. So dialing up some really good blitzes. Some guys on offense, Travis Etienne had a good game. I will say it's going to be nice. Hopefully Brian Thomas Jr. comes back next week, because the Jaguars have really good wide receiver 3s and 4s with Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington, but they're really missing like the alpha out there right now. And I'm hoping that Brian Thomas Jr., after an entire month off of football, can come back not only healthy, but can come back mentally better, because he had the yips big time before he left, just dropping critical balls. And, I mean, he was basically solely responsible for the Bengals loss with dropping a ball that would have basically gave you the ball first down. He could have milked the clock. So it's interesting. Jaguars are able to escape victory on the West Coast. Now the Jaguars are 7-4, 1 game back of the AFC South. And now the Jaguars have the Titans this upcoming weekend. So hopefully this shakes up the division a little bit.
Man, absolutely fun game to watch. And yes, getting Brian Thomas back would be absolutely massive for this team. We see the super chats piling up, fellas. We're going to get to those in just a minute. But first, we got to hit the first sponsor of the evening. And big Jags fan, we'll get to you as well. 5th panelist. We got you. We see you backstage. All right, listen. I've pre-made my picks for the week just in the sake of time. So here's what we're going with.
We're losing you money. I'm sorry.
We didn't do good last week.
Listen, whoa. Listen, I didn't call you guys out. I tried to keep it professional, but if you want to talk about it, yes, I'm losing a little bit of coin here due to the AFC South Roundtable, but not just you guys, the NFC North. Not doing much better. So it's
look, if you're that desperate, just drop the Cash App. Okay, I'm sorry.
Well, listen, we might be rolling with your money here, since you're like Mr. Money Bags going on cruises every other week. So
yeah,
that might be the
YouTube money.
Well, Listen, I'm getting desperate. I
It's
put
called
10 down
blackjack
on
money.
this
It's called
one
blackjack money.
to win 336. All right. We're going big or going home, and it's all going to come to fruition on Thursday night, Thanksgiving. So I'm either going to have a very happy Thanksgiving or a sad one. But either way, I took Luka. All he has to do is just have a pulse and step on the court, and we're going to win that one. And then we got Montgomery with 50 plus rushing yards. He always plays well against the Packers. We got Gibbs with 69 and a half rushing yards. We're taking the more there. We're getting Jacobs to score, and we get Watson to score. That's $10 to win 336. Go big or go home is the way that I see it. Here's what I'll also say. You two can play. You can either fade me, you can tail me, but make sure that either way you use promo code RTS. Get that 100% deposit match. The link is pinned to the top of the description. Make sure that you join in and have some fun with the fastest growing fantasy app, Sleeper. All right, fellas, listen, we got some super chats to be getting to. Let's hit these real quick. Gooter, this one's every single time he gets me. Nick Caley is looking comfortable calling plays now. When CJ comes back, this offense will look a lot better. Mills missed a lot of wide open receivers. Ruben, do you agree with this sentiment?
Yeah, there was a lot of things that the Texans did the last 3 weeks that they didn't do with CJ Stroud. Like one of the main things was Woody Marks. The split carries between him and Nick Chubb when CJ was out there. You know, they were kind of exactly the same. The last 3 weeks, it's clear Woody Marks is your number one running back. Trent Brown at right tackle the last few weeks has not only been surprising, but has been playing pretty damn well, allowing you to move Titus Howard to left guard. You allowed 0 sacks on Thursday Night Football against the Buffalo Bills, and that's now 2 games this year where the Texans offensive line has allowed 0 sacks. And then, you know, the use of their second round draft pick, Jaden Higgins. He has 2 touchdowns in the last 3 weeks. So, you know, things that are happening now should give us some confidence when CJ comes back in. We just got to see it happen.
All right, I love it. Logan says Texans D is about to annihilate the Colts. Ooh, we'll see about that. We'll see about that. Patrick says JT is going to run all over the Texans on Sunday. I love the
If
dichotomy,
Steichen
back-to-back
decides to run it
supers.
with him.
Yeah, well, there you go. You gotta start there. Colts Super Bowl says, I'm starting to think Shane Steichen is just Brian Callahan with better talent. Also, Houston is getting belt to ass on Sunday. Okay. Well, I don't know if those two things go together, but here we go. Eric says T-Law is a white Jameis Winston, and that's fine. Is it
We
fine
pretty
though?
much.
We love Jameis Winston.
Yeah, we do love Jameis, but
Jameis Winston caught a
Winston's
touchdown
more
pass this
consistent
weekend.
than Trevor Lawrence.
Once
I wouldn't say
T-Law
that.
cuts his hair, he will be a different quarterback.
Do you think if he cuts his hair, he'll look like Jameis Winston?
No, he'll just be a different quarterback. Who knows? Who knows?
all of a sudden he's eating W's. It's crazy.
Dude.
Jerry says, Colts, y'all had one job. Go Texans. Well, you guys can take care of business this
dude,
week.
that was awesome, man. Go Chiefs. I can't imagine losing to the Chiefs. That'd be awful.
Shut the hell up. Good
I can't relate. I can't relate.
Yeah, you can win at home, and then we obviously haven't played a game at home in over a month.
Yeah, I hear a lot of excuses, little boy. Hear a lot of excuses. We went on the road. We went to Arizona. That's like, I think, like what?
Oh,
1,200 miles away.
You went on the road against Arizona. Ooh.
No, it was impressive. I was very impressed.
Patrick says whoever starts at QB for the Texans is going to have a bad day on Sunday. Mooney and Sauce.
Sauce.
Sauce. What are you talking about? Sauce, I don't think gave up a completion.
Sauce sucks, and you're going to regret. Jeez Louise, the fact that you gave us 2 first-round picks. I've already seen some of you guys be upset about it. You know, he was on his knees.
Because
His first game against Atlanta.
Or can be stupid at times.
Yeah, Derek, we need
you
some
gave
Sauce Gardner
2 first-round
stats.
picks
Sauce
for him,
Gardner
and then
stats.
you said you were going to have the best secondary in the AFC South.
And our secondary has been really, really good ever since he's gotten here. He's only played in 2 games.
Derek, can you feed us some Sauce Gardner stats that could feed families right now?
I don't have any in front of me. Forgive me. I haven't really been
All right.
in front of my computer recently.
Yeah, that's true.
Specifically third quarter stats if possible. JL Mario says Jaguars are going to win the division and Houston and the Colts will get the wild card over the Chiefs. Ooh, that would be
Wow,
interesting.
that's a lot
I'll
of
take
division
it.
love. That's a lot of division love.
That is. Paul says, you suck, Derek. Just quit now. Jeez.
What
Okay.
Paul? What
Wow.
what's with the aggressiveness towards me,
So
man?
That's a
aggressive.
Colts fan. That's a Colts
You're
fan.
supposed to be on my side.
You
suck,
Derek.
For? Is this because I said that we should be a little bit concerned? Like, I'm sorry if you don't want to be concerned. That's fine. I am a little concerned.
I think it's that one guy that will spam the chat every week. Maybe it's him.
No, that's not him.
He's
That's
a Chiefs
Paul.
fan.
He's here all the time.
Yeah,
Chiefs
Paul's
fan.
cool. Paul's cool guy. But I don't know what happened. What happened with you guys, man?
Had a falling out apparently. Tighten Up says Dalton, we have to have a conversation. Trevs can throw 3 picks against the Cards, but he can't get away with that going forward and have division hopes. What are your thoughts?
That's called being 2-0 with 4 turnovers, man. That's what he does. He does that so he can pad the come from behind stats. Okay, he scored the go ahead touchdown. He drove down the field in overtime. He got it done, and we're 7-4 right now.
Trevor Lawrence is the worst quarterback to ever get paid that kind of money ever.
Ooh. I mean, didn't Tua get paid that money as well? I don't know. I think I'd rather have Trevor than
I'd
Tua.
say Tua's better than Trevor.
Oh, I don't know about that.
I
don't know about that. But it's fair. We'll
not a
kick
good
y'all's
place
ass
to
next week.
be. Not a good place to be. Toof says, new member. We appreciate you, Toof. Tay rather says, yeah, it is Tay. Okay. Is the real Danny Dumps coming out to play? Danny Dumps.
Danny Dumps. I like that one.
No longer
That's a good
Danny
one.
Dumps. Danny Dumps.
Toof says T-Law is better than everyone thinks, UCF, and the fans don't really know how to break him down, but I do, bro. Bro is the chosen one. Oh,
Another
geez, that's
delusional
bold.
Jaguars fan.
Wow,
That's
that's
what we're seeing right here. That's all. That is
okay.
delusion at its highest. And I thought UCF was bad.
That's okay.
I mean,
Well,
I just hope with Trevor, he's got to get the football IQ up because, man, he makes some amazing throws and it can be pretty wild what he can do. But I mean, you got to get rid of the turnovers and the bad field reads and stuff like that. And hopefully another year in the scheme because he'll obviously be the Jaguars quarterback next year. And hell, we might even win the AFC South and make a little bit of a playoff run. And if he does win the AFC South, wouldn't that be a little bit embarrassing for you guys talking all this shit about our quarterback and you guys can't even take him over in a division? Just saying.
Dan Orlovsky said it best. He has 3 or 4 throws where he looks like he might be one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and then 3 or 4 throws where it looks like it's the first time he's ever thrown a football.
Yeah, but the good thing,
it's not worth $250 million.
The good thing about it is he makes those good throws at the end of the games when they're needed. Okay.
Yeah, and the reason why your team is winning those games is not because of Trevor Lawrence.
Well, I mean, Trevor Lawrence has put us behind, no doubt, but he makes up for it, bro. He makes up for it. It's pretty wild because I'm always ready in the middle of these streams to say, screw this guy, cut him, I can't stand him. And then all of a sudden he makes these insane throws, gets us back into the games, takes the lead, and it's like, man, that was some pretty wild stuff right there. That's just a Trevor Lawrence roller coaster. It's a Trevor Lawrence experience. Jags are going to win the AFC South, and it's going to be cinema.
Trevor Lawrence is the arsonist and the firefighter, is what I'm hearing you say. That's amazing. All right, listen, let's hear from our second sponsor, RotoWire, the ultimate fantasy football tandem tool, is the way that I like to say it. Promo code RTS, get 15% off. If you play fantasy football, you definitely should be using RotoWire. But if you do daily fantasy sports like Sleeper, also highly, highly recommend using RotoWire. Link is in the description. Definitely check them out. You can go picks and props, daily fantasy football, sleeper picks, and right here you can get your AI algorithm with a confidence meter. For example, they've got DJ Moore very confident on the Moore on 32.5 receiving yards this week. Also very confident that Tyler Shuck's going to have less than 223.5 passing yards. And they do this all across the app with a meter that gets bigger or smaller depending on confidence level. They make it very, very easy to understand. So definitely check them out. Promo code RTS. All right, listen, before we get to our preview in week 13, we got to hear from the fifth panelist. That is Big Jags fan. Big Jags fan, brother.
How
Nice
y'all
to
doing?
see you.
Nice to see y'all. I'm not apologizing for effing losing, for winning. I'm sorry. Like
I'm
Liam
not
Cohen said.
apologizing either, as Liam Cohen said.
And Derek does need to stop. That guy's right. The Colts have lost their past 2 games, Steelers and Chiefs. They're not playoff teams. So Daniel Jones can't even beat non-playoff teams. So he needs to stop that.
I mean, again, if whether or not the Chiefs are even a playoff team
I
is
love
not
this guy.
up for anything, like the fact that you want to try to insinuate that the Chiefs are not a good football team,
They're not a playoff team. The Jaguars whooped them at home.
Stops there. All
And the
credibility
Steelers,
lost on that.
just look at the standings. They're both in the hunt. They're not good teams. And the
Yes,
Chiefs and
they're
the
in the hunt, but they've lost. They've won like 5 of their last 6, dude.
You know
Like,
who's
act
you
like
know,
is it? I mean, are we gonna say that Houston's a bad football team because they're in the hunt? Like that's just stupid.
well, Houston's at the top of the hunt, so I'll give them a break. And when they beat y'all, but I do gotta take up for my guy Trevor Lawrence, because if you look at his winning seasons, he's 2 for 2. He's 9-8 twice, and then he had a season with Urban Meyer where it was a debacle. But then one season he got hurt and missed 11 games. So technically, when we have a winning season this year, he'll be 3 out of 4 winning seasons, because we ain't counting the Urban Meyer season. So how is that a bad quarterback? How's 3 winning seasons in 5 years a bad quarterback?
You know, it'd be pretty crazy if the Jaguars won this division, because the Jaguars have no business winning this division. The Texans were gearing up for a Super Bowl run. The Colts, Chris Ballard actually spent money. The Jaguars were bargain
you know
bin
what
hunting.
I just heard?
The Jaguars
You
were
know what I
bargain
just
bin
heard?
hunting
I
this
just
whole
heard
offseason.
Once again, another person trying to say that winning is a quarterback stat. It's just a quarterback stat. It's not the Jags stat. It's a Trevor Lawrence stat.
Well, if Trevor Lawrence didn't throw them 3 touchdowns, we don't win. We won because he threw 3 touchdowns.
You guys
and y'all
would win
lost
a lot more games if he also didn't throw 2 or 3 interceptions most games.
Well, I saw this weekend the way to beat the Colts is you don't got to throw a touchdown. Patrick Mahomes didn't, and he beat y'all. So we'll be fine with Trevor. He could throw a pick. We'll still win.
That's fine. We're our worst offensive day of the entire year, and then yet we still were beating the Chiefs for all but 1 second.
Right, and they're a non-playoff team, and they beat y'all. Hooray.
Hooray.
All right, listen, Big Jags fan, give me your predictions for the week.
I'm just messing with Derek. I think the Colts do demolish the Texans.
What?
And I do. The Jaguars.
After all that,
That's
that
right.
was good.
Yeah, I like messing with them. And then the Jaguars beat the Titans, and I want the Colts to win, because if the Texans, Chiefs, and Steelers lose, they're all 2.5 games back on us. So go Colts.
I love it. All right,
I
Big
love the
Jags
hate
fan.
watch, brother. I love the hate watch.
Good to hear from
I
you.
love it.
Per usual, the fifth panelist calling in.
Yeah,
All
I'm
right,
just
we do
glad
have
2
a
weeks
couple
ago
games.
he was ready to trade Trevor Lawrence for a first-round pick for the Jets. Big Jags fan has come back, baby.
All the way
right,
back.
yeah.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. All right, listen. We got 2 games in the 1 p.m. time slot. We'll save the heavyweight fight for the end. We'll go Jags at Titans, 1 p.m. Eastern. Ruben, we'll start with you on this one since you're not involved. Jags at Titans, 1 p.m. Eastern. Who do you have winning this one?
Yeah, obviously I have the Jacksonville Jaguars winning this football game. It's been a rough season for Tennessee, but they are showing some sort of a pulse the last few weeks. I think it's going to be a 27-17 type of game. Jags are going to run away with this one early.
Ooh, Jags running away with this one. I like to hear it. Okay, Derek, talk to me, man. Jags, Titans. Who do you have winning this one?
The Jags hate watch begins. The Titans will pull off the upset once again, like they did last year, or was it 2 years ago? I can't even remember at this
It was
point.
2 years ago.
But the Titans will get another win and an upset against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me a final score of 23-20.
Oh, I love this. I love the upset alert. Hey, anything can happen week to week in the NFL, especially in division. Rossi, are you buying what Derek is selling? Do you have your Titans beating the Jags?
I mean, I love it. I love what he's saying, but I think the Titans are getting close to upsetting a team. Like the past few games they've won by or they've lost by one score or less. Like I think they're getting close, and it always seems to be like the Jags that this happens to with the Titans. I don't know if they're there yet, but I do think it's a close game. I really do. It's going to be at home. And the Titans, their defense, they seem to do they do okay up until like the third quarter, and then they kind of lay down. This last week, yeah, they gave up 30 points, but they held pretty strong in the second half, and then the Titans kind of came back towards the end. I really think it all depends on, a lot of it how well Cam Ward plays, and if he doesn't turn over the football. But also, the Titans have no freaking run game at all. Like Tony Pollard is just spent. I mean, he's like a 3.5 to 3.9 yard back. Like it's just there's no point for them to even run the ball. Really, it's just filler at this point. So I don't think the Jags have to worry about the run game whatsoever. Um, I think they got to worry about Chimere Dike. He's the Titans rookie, he's leading the NFL in all-purpose yards. He returned a touchdown last week. He is a real weapon. Like the Jags, that's one thing that I would say if I was an opposing team, I would definitely keep an eye on Chimere Dike because he can hurt you. The question is like, will the Titans be close enough in this game for it to matter if he does? But I think the Titans play them tough. I could smell an upset here. I could smell like just one of those weeks where the Titans jump up and get one. I'm not going to call it that way. I think the Titans play well, but I think it's going to be like Jags. I'm going to give 27. I mean, the Jags have been scoring like 30 points a game the last 4 games, and they're scoring 24 points a game this season. Even with Trevor Lawrence supposedly not playing well, they're scoring 24 points a game, which is pretty good in the NFL. That's like 12th, 13th in the league. So I don't know. I'm going to say the Jags 27, the Titans 20.
All right. Keeping it close. So Derek's the only one to pick them thus far. Dalton, that means we're coming to you, brother. Who do you have winning this one? By what score? How does it get done? Talk to me.
Yeah, when the NFL schedule came out, I was a little bit annoyed that the Titans game came at the end of the year because I had a feeling that the Titans would start off terrible. And at some point, late November, December, they may start getting some wins after, they're down and out. Cam Ward starts to get better and stuff like that. And, you've seen Cam Ward these last couple of games play better, but I am not going to pick the Titans to beat the Jaguars. This is not the game that's going to happen. There's too much at stake. The Jaguars have a legit opportunity. I don't know how tiebreakers work, so we'll just say the Jaguars could be tied for first place in the AFC South this time next week. So yeah, the Jaguars are going to go out here. They're going to win this game. Let's say the Jaguars win this one 31-17.
31-17. All right. Oh, baby. Here we go. We got a heavyweight fight in division. This thing could get really, really interesting. We talked early on about Derek's Colts and the epic collapse that could be around the corner. It might start with this game. I got to tell you, if I'm a Colts fan and the Texans win this one, I would be pressing bad, knowing you've lost 3 of 4, nearly 4 of 4, narrowly beating a bad Falcons team. I would be getting the cold sweats going into this one. Let's see if Derek feels the same. But before we get to him, Rossi, your team's not involved. We'll go with you first. We got Texans versus the Colts in Indy, 1 p.m. Eastern. How do you see this one going down?
Man, this is such an important game, dude, for real. I mean, you're talking about the Texans' chance, and I mean the way that they've bounced back is pretty phenomenal. I actually have them on my fantasy team for defense. They're number one in fantasy too, of course. But man, that defense is really awesome. I don't know, dude. I see the Texans pulling this one out. I do. I think they pull it out and they make this AFC South race even tougher. I'm going to say the Texans. We'll say, I don't know, man. Their defense is so good. 24-20.
24-20. I like it. Some of these scores in the chat seem a little unrealistic. We got a lot of 30-point games from the Colts. I don't know about that against this defense. Even if you're picking the Colts to win, that's pretty generous. All right, Dalton, talk to me, man. Your team's not involved, but I know you're going to be watching this one with a real close eye, brother. You're going to have this one right next to that Jags-Titans game for sure, watching it very, very closely. Who do you have winning this one in Indy?
Well, to be honest with you guys, I'm gonna be locked into this one. Okay, it's time, baby.
Put
It's
that
time.
battle red on. Somebody snap this.
Awesome.
It's
Put
time.
that
I
battle-
need look the Texans.
Throw the H's up. Throw the H's up. Throw the H's up.
H. There we go. There we go. Right there. The Texans helped the Jaguars out last week, beating the Bills. The Jaguars climbed up a playoff spot. The Texans could help the Jaguars out again, okay? The Jaguars could be the number 3 seed this time next week. Houston, help us out. The downfall of Indy is here. They're going to be reeling by the time they come to Jacksonville, a place they haven't won since 2014. It's going to happen this weekend. The Texans are going to dominate. The Texans will win this one 28-17.
Listen, after that claim right there, Houston Texans fans, we got to make this one go as viral as all the stuff that happened last year. We got to make it safe again for Dalton to travel to Houston so that, okay, all right. Well, listen, I tried to make it possible. I feel like he did his best here. He's got the red in the background. All right, Derek, we're going to save you for last because your team's at home in this one. Ruben, we're going to go to you, man. Team traveling on the road, Texans getting hot at the right time, getting Petrie and Stroud back most likely. This team knows how to make the playoffs at the very least. It started out rocky, but right now your Texans look really, really good, man. This would be a win for the ages, setting up a possible playoff run down the stretch. Talk to me, brother. How do you see this one going down on Sunday in the 1 p.m. Eastern time slot in Indianapolis?
Yeah, you know, CJ Stroud's going to a place that Pat McAfee himself likes to call the Stroud House because CJ Stroud has not lost at Indianapolis. He's currently 3-1 against the Indianapolis Colts. But in all honesty, what's going to be the start of this team? It's been what's been the go-to all year, and that's the defense. This defense has to get after Daniel Jones. It has to put him on his back. The Houston Texans edge rushing duo, Will Anderson Jr., Danielle Hunter, they're both top 5 in sacks, and I believe they're 1-2 or 2-3 in terms of pressure. The Colts offense right now, it's just Jonathan Taylor centered. Now, he is one of the best running backs in the NFL. I am going to give him his props there. If the Houston Texans are able to slow Jonathan Taylor down, they're going to have an opportunity to win this football game. Nico Collins loves going against the Indianapolis Colts. He has been what T.Y. Hilton was to the Houston Texans. This is going to be a fun game. This is going to be a back and forth game. I do think it's going to be a closer than what a lot of people think. I'm going to go 24-20, just like Rossi. CJ Stroud wins in his house on Sunday.
Oh, you know this one's big because the chat is getting real aggressive towards each other, man. You got to love this. Derek, this one's big. Huge for your Colts, man. They got to stop the bleeding. This could be the game to do such, either that or it could get a lot worse. Talk to me. Your Colts are at home. This seems like every bit of a must win if you want any chance of continuing to win this division. How do you see this one going down on Sunday?
Well, this will be the first home game for the Indianapolis Colts in over a month. We have had 3 straight games on the road plus a bye week. So definitely a chance to come back home, embrace your home environment, and start feeling a little bit more like yourselves. And again, whatever we want to say about CJ Stroud's past experiences against these Colts teams, this defense is better than any Colts defense that CJ Stroud has had to face yet in his career. They will definitely continue to make it hard for the Houston Texans to be able to do anything offensively. And the number one thing, you just got to make sure you're taking care of the ball, even if you had a little bit of what you had against the Chiefs. Yes, the offense from an overall standpoint didn't do a great job of moving the football, but you did take care of the football. It gave you a chance to win. And the reason why Houston is winning these games, they're making the other team turn the ball over, and they're making monster plays on their defense. If you can keep the defense of the Texans from forcing turnovers, the Indianapolis Colts will control this game going forward. And we have seen this season, when Jonathan Taylor has a bad game the week prior, he typically goes off for a big one. And I have a feeling, again, if Ruben wants to do the same thing with Stroud, Jonathan Taylor's track record against Houston's pretty dang good too. I think he averages about 120 yards a game against Houston throughout his career. I expect it to be no different. The Indianapolis Colts will win against Houston in their first home game in a while. Give me a final score of 23-17 Colts.
Oh, man, we had everything but a voice crack in there. Derek, I got to be honest, man. You seem a little nervous, brother. You seem a little nervous.
Let me ask you, do you think you think Houston's winning this weekend, don't you?
Me?
Yes.
No, I actually do think
who
the
do you?
Colts are gonna
Because
win this game.
I'm
picking
like
the Colts.
it almost sounded like some bias a little bit.
No.
Jesse's been biased
I'm
against
actually
the Jags
picking
the
the
whole
Colts.
year. Jesse's been sliding the Jags the whole year. I just take it off the chin, bro.
I feel like I slight all of you evenly. I really try my best
You give a lot
to
of
keep
love
it fair.
to Houston, man. You give a lot of love to Houston.
He gave a lot of love.
Listen, I'm a huge. I wasn't early. I wasn't.
He was my number one hater
yeah,
till we
see?
put belt to fucking ass over there in Houston.
All I know is that the Texans beat him. They're like, great game, man. That was awesome. The Jaguars beat him. Trevor Lawrence sucks. The Jaguars suck. Ah. I had people in my comment section being like, "Hey, you guys got to get into a hose. This guy hates the Jags."
I know. Hey, listen. I appreciate it because I feel like all of you might feel the same way. No, I'm a big CJ Stroud fan. I have been since before the draft. So I am a little biased towards CJ Stroud potentially. I think that the Texans and the Colts are going to split this year. I'm going to go with the Colts to win this one at home. I think it's going to be extremely close, but this one's going to be a real fun game.
What are your thoughts on Davis Mills 3-0?
It was Millie.
Listen, Davis Mills is.
I would rather face
fine
CJ
backup.
Stroud, to be completely honest with you, than Davis Mills. I know that Davis Mills hasn't been great at consistently moving the ball, but he hasn't been turning the ball over, and they've been winning with him in there. So I'm honestly a little bit surprised that unless CJ Stroud was 100%. And Davis Mills started doing bad, you just keep Davis Mills in there, to be honest.
Yeah, Derek doesn't even believe that bullshit that's coming out of his mouth. He is scared of this Houston Texans defense.
Hey.
It's going to get real nasty.
Oh, man. All right, listen, we got some super chat. Scooter comes in and says, Trevor just sucks. I don't want him, Jags head coach. Nice.
Scooter.
He comes back and says, Jags fans under UCF desk. All right, chill out. Patrick says T-Law throws 3 interceptions on Sunday.
We come out with a dub, baby.
Oh, wow, nice.
That's how we do. That's how we do it. 2-0 when you have 4 turnovers. That's insane. That's just our ball. That's the way we play.
Toof says, listen, man, no personal stuff.
It's all right. Hey, listen, I embrace it. I'm glad that you're willing to, throw insults first before your argument. It tells a lot about you.
All right. Trevor just needs an O-line, a wideout with no fear. he's a pocket QB and scrambling is just the gift, but he's old school pocket QB with a trash line. PTSD is Trevor's problem.
I knew a quarterback that played less than a decade ago that, never had any of that except maybe the wide receiver and was generationally better than Trevor Lawrence and got paid for half the amount
Quit
of
on
money.
the franchise. Just quit.
Just quit. And then booed by the Colts.
Richardson.
Booed by the Colts.
Derek booed him.
Derek booed him.
What? And I did not boo him.
He booed him on screen.
You did. I never once booed that man.
I think you did.
I will never boo Andrew.
Bro, we were on the round table the next week, bro.
You're on the field.
You're on the round table that didn't even exist. That's so good. It's so good. That was good. I love that.
You were on a field trip with Anthony Richardson,
bro. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
So good.
Wasn't that the field trip you and Anthony Richardson went on back when you guys were in fourth grade together?
Oh man. Tekken is my world says I might be late here, but I'm at the point as a Jags fan, I would rather see the Colts win the South than the Texans because Houston is more insufferable. Wow. Okay. And he follows it up and says Colts fans are more chill though. Can't wait for week 14.
Dude,
Ruben,
I had some Texans fans angry this last week. Dude,
Yeah.
What's so funny? What's so funny is I troll the Texans more when they win than when they lose because it's so much more fun to do it when they win.
That's why I'm telling you, bro, how you want to come down here, man, and you keep on taking shots at him, bro.
Dude. I made a tweet where I'm like, I literally said like the Texans should have done Woody Marsh from day one. Chubb just isn't working. People are like, you're obsessed. Stop talking about the Texans. I'm like, they're on Thursday Night Football. I'm watching them right now. I'm allowed to tweet about them.
And
yeah,
see,
I mean,
this
it's
is
a
why
division
y'all
game.
need
I
to
think
just come to Indy. It's just so much more. It's so much more. Okay.
What the hell is it in Indy? Are there even clubs in Indy?
As long as you don't run into Mark Sanchez at 2 a.m. in the morning, okay.
And if they are, they close at like 12.
Chill, jeez, brother. All right. Well, listen. I hope everybody in the chat has an awesome Thanksgiving. Hell of a show by the panelists here. We got Dalton, we got Derek, we got Ruben, we got Rossi. Fantastic way to go into a Thanksgiving week full of football. We got Thursday football, we got Friday football, and then of course we got two big games in division on Sunday. Cannot wait for this. Cannot wait until we get the recap show next week, same time, same place, Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Everybody in the chat, enjoy your Thanksgiving. And until next week, much love and peace.
Move on.